The following is a special presentation of the Simulation Football League.
And the handoff goes to Johnny English, who breaks out of it. Still going, Johnny English! And English will score! Touchdown, Renegades! He caught it between two defenders! OKC is taking the lead! Matsumoto back to throw. He's in trouble again! This is insanity from Jordan Gray! Look at Gunner! 20, 10, it's a runaway! Touchdown, Gunner! It's Hicho! Oh, he made three people miss! Hicho breaks a tackle! He's done it again! Touchdown! Hand off to Snowden up the middle, now tries to cut it right. Beautiful move by Snowden! He's in the open field! Midfield! 40, 30, 20! Richard Snowden to the half! Touchdown, Dragons! Back to pass. Looking, fumble the football! And it is recovered by Orlando at the 17! Line formation, handoff to Overstreet around the right-hand side. Overstreet picks him up on, and there he goes! Overstreet! Touchdown! Welcome to YMBA Telecom Park in New York City, New York. It just feels like it's about time to get some playoff fever up in here. Game 78 of the SFL regular season. And tonight, it's a battle for the North Division title. The 6-3 Baltimore Crabs need a win to secure the division. They have secured a playoff spot coming into the night. Meanwhile, NYC needs to win out to have a shot at the division crown. And a win here tonight definitely improves their playoff hopes. Baltimore and Carolina. Baltimore and NYC. Boy, deja vu from last night is next. Somebody slapped me for such an egregious error.
We'll take heads. He's tails.
Real kick.
NYC will kick it off to Baltimore to start tonight's ball game. The Baltimore return man is Wayne Inzer. He does not have a kickoff return for a touchdown this season. He may be due. Averages 21.1 yards per attempt. Kick it. We're underway. KJ Batista ran up on that ball quick, 3 yards into the end zone. Inzer just gets out past the 20-yard line. So the Baltimore quarterback is Mike Dazzo, QBR of 83.1, 15 touchdowns and 20 interceptions, 2,510 yards, averaging 278.9 yards per game. There's a look at Prince Escobar, who is close on the line. Two in the backfield with Mike Dazzo, and Dazzo will drop the throw. He'll flip it out to Elliott Snyder, who gets a block. Snyder, first down to the 32-yard line, and a good start for the visiting Baltimore Crabs. Crabs in the black helmets, white jerseys, black pants, black numbers, red trim down the sides and on the numbers and the gold stars. And NYC in the home, blue helmets, blue jerseys, and the gray pants, white numbers, blue trim down the side, the double stripe. 10:40 to go in the first quarter. Same formation for the Crabs as they had on their previous throw. This time it's a run for Snyder, dragged down from behind by Jack Bostrom. A pickup of 4. Action elsewhere across the league. Dallas hosts D.C. tonight, and Louisville is at Cleveland. 7 minutes to go in the first. Louisville is up 7-0, and 7:21 to go in the first. Dallas has got the early edge on D.C. 7-zip. Two in the backfield with Dazzo. Back to pass. Deep ball. Dazzo caught. Mike Osai down the field. Inside the NYC 25 to the 23. And Baltimore is off to a fiery start here on the road. These two teams played twice last year. The road team won both of those contests. Baltimore lost at home 17-23 at the tail end of last season, but beat the Sailors here in Telecom Park 27-25. It's a first down for the Crabs at the 23. Out of the shotgun, Dazzo down the middle, right past the hands of the outstretched linebacker, Jean-Pierre Lamarck. That's Wayne Inzer with the catch, and Baltimore's in the red zone. 1st and 10 at the 12. What an opening drive for Baltimore. Mike Dazzo, laser focused. Dazzo was not the last time he came here to NYC. 337 yards, a couple of picks. I did have 3 touchdowns. In the backfield, handoff, Snyder left side inside the 10, down to the 6. A 6-yard pickup, and the Crabs have gained positive yardage and lots of it on every single one of their first offensive plays. Sultan Muhammad last season against the Crabs here in NYC had 205 yards and a couple of touchdowns on 6 grabs. He was nearly unstoppable. Two in the backfield, handoff, Snyder this time right side, and he runs right into a Sailor wall. A loss of about 1. Cecil Randolph on the tackle. 3rd down and 5 at the 7. Cecil Randolph leads the team in tackles with 79. 7 in the backfield, now 8 on the season, and has 5 interceptions, totaling 119 interception return yards. A big 3rd down, the first of the game for Baltimore on a 3-minute drive. Dazzo's going to the end zone. The pass is caught by Osai. Get those toes in, son. And a score for the Crabs. What a beautiful pass. But a great job by Mike Osai setting himself up in the back of the end zone. Oh, that was just beautiful. An absolutely textbook pass and catch from Mike Dazzo to Mike Osai, a Mike-on-Mike connection for Osai. He picks up touchdown number 8 on the season, tying Prince Escobar. In fact, Escobar and Osai are the only players on this Crab squad that have caught touchdowns from Mike Dazzo this year. Dazzo has 16 touchdowns, 8 of them to Escobar, 8 of them to Osai, and the Crabs take an early 7-0 lead. So the Crabs will kick it away. Michael Spurgeon, is the kick returner, averaging 22.5 yards per return. That's better than Inzer, but Spurgeon also does not have a kickoff return to his name yet this season. From the 9, past the 25, past the 30, and wrapped up at the 33, so nicely done. If my voice cracks on you at any point this evening, this is my 4th straight night check that. This is my, yeah, that's right, 4th straight night doing commentary of some kind. So I'm definitely pushing myself to the limit here. 7:59 to go in the first. Back to pass Peters. Peters is going to go down the middle of the field. Pass caught. That's Muhammad, and a first down to the Baltimore 47-yard line. Sultan Muhammad, we mentioned he was absolutely dominant against the Crabs last year in that game here in NYC. In Baltimore, he also had a brilliant game. 10 catches for $160 and a score. In 2 meetings last year, the Baltimore Crabs did nothing to slow down Sultan Muhammad. And Muhammad, who has 1,307 yards on the season and 6 scores, is obviously the catalyst of this offense. First down and 10, the handoff to Philo Celestino. Celestino's got some room, and nearly a first down to the Baltimore 39-yard line. And we're going to get a look at a nice block from Mo Powell right at the point of attack. That is a phenomenal camera work there by our 2K Sports crew. as Powell creates a lot of space in the middle for Celestino to bounce back. Three receivers, the handoff to Celestino, got the first down. Celestino churning the legs, under 7 minutes to go. A good start for both offenses as the Sailors reach KJ Batista field goal range. Batista this year, 29 of 31. As long as 53 yards, and that's exactly what it would be if they had to kick it from here. Split two backs in the backfield, rather, with Carter Peters, and the handoff goes to Celestino again, and Celestino gets a tough 4 yards. Let's meet the rest of that NYC offense. Terminus Law is the wideout opposite of Muhammad. He wears number 7, 6'3", 200. Tight end is number 84, Elijah Swaim, 6'7", 255. And in select games this year, he has looked rather dangerous. And the handoff goes to Celestino. He's dropped in the backfield, a loss of 3. And I just now realized for the first time this season, my apologies, I was on the wrong list of stat sheets as you take a look at the at Joe Dazzo dropping Celestino for a loss. Nice play there by the Baltimore Crab defense, forcing a 3rd and long. Swaim, 300 yards and a touchdown this season. Averages about 30 yards a game. So 4 wide receivers on a 3rd down and 9 back at the 35 for the Sailors halfway through the first quarter on their opening offensive possession. Peters back to pass, dumps it short, needs Law to turn the corner, and he does for the first down to the 24. Perfectly executed as the Sailor offensive drive will continue. Law makes his first grab of the night. And a nice job against a late safety blitz there by the Sailors. And Carter Peters is off to a very efficient start. His quarterback rating actually is not that bad this season. And he has gone underrated. I'm actually kind of surprised at how good Carter Peters' numbers are. Back to pass. Peters looking around, surveys, fires. It's incomplete. Muhammad was out of bounds. Peters' QBR is 94. 20 touchdowns, 16 interceptions. Less than 2 interceptions a game, which in the SFL is not too shabby. 2,313 yards, averages over 250 yards a game, and NYC is going to challenge this as a completed catch on the far sideline. Louisville is up on Cleveland 14-0. There's 4 minutes left in that first quarter. Let's see if Muhammad got any type of feet in bounds. We saw he got one. Coach Nakia Randall looking for a victory.
After review, the pass has been ruled.
And he got it.
The catch was made.
Pass caught on the sideline by Sultan Muhammad. First successful challenge of the night.
First down.
NYC keeps their timeouts. And it's 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line. Three receivers, 2 off to the left side, and 2 in the backfield with Peters. A 3-3 defensive look for the Crabs, and Philo Celestino's got a first down and more. Down to the 3. A respectable 4.4 yards per carry here in this first quarter, and the Sailors are 3 yards away from answering the Mike Osai touchdown with one of their own. Two in the backfield. Muhammad's top of the screen. Celestino off the left side, and he walks in for a New York City touchdown. What a drive. What a response by the Sailor offense. Celestino's 11th touchdown in 10 games this season. And the Sailors are an extra point away from tying it up.
So Batista's extra point is on the way, and of course, it's good. 7-7 with 4:30 to go in the first half. Don't forget, we got a big SFL postgame show coming up, and we want to hear from each and every one of you. We've also got a lot of playoff scenarios expected to play out. Of course, there's 6 Gray Conference teams in action tonight, so whatever happens is going to have a big play on these playoffs, or big implications on these playoffs, as Wayne Inzer has to just take a knee as Batista's kick is 6 yards deep into the end zone. And we'll also break down some playoff tie-breaking procedures, get some Q&A on that. If you're unaware of what they are, we'll be answering those questions tonight too. Mike Dazzo begins at his 20 with 3 in the backfield, and Prince Escobar at the top of the screen. Back to pass, Dazzo, he'll fire it out. Boy, Dazzo took a huge hit. That's a loss of 2. Nice job on the outside by the Sailor defense. They were all over that one. Bring up 2nd down and 12. And let's meet that Sailor defense. Jean-Pierre Lamarck, the linebacker, number 55, is the unquestioned leader of this squad. 15 tackles for loss, a sack, a pick, 69 tackles. He does it all. Free safety, Randall Del Castro, the strong safety, Cecil Randolph. Corners on the outside, Michael Spurgeon. Back to pass is Dazzo. That pass is out of bounds and incomplete. 3rd and long for Baltimore. Alexander Brown is the other corner on the outside, number 2. Defensive end, number 10, Jack Boster. 3rd down and 12 at the 18-yard line. Four receivers, 3 off to the left side. Baltimore trying to avoid a 3-and-out following a touchdown on their last drive. Dazzo to pass, dumps it short, looking for some yak yards. Wayne Inzer's not going to give it to him. Gain of just 5 to the 23. The Sailors have their first defensive stop of the evening, and Baltimore will have to punt it away. Boy, I bet nobody's happier than Greg Morris that there won't be any SFL action on the 23rd since the Walking Dead starts that night. The playoffs start Wednesday, October rather, how time flies, 26th at 6 Central, 7 Eastern. Stephen Mullinex will be alongside me for the entirety of the SFL playoffs, including a doubleheader, Wednesday the 26th and Thursday the 27th. Couldn't be more thrilled for that, as Spurgeon returns to the 44. Good starting field position for the Sailors. Let's meet the Crab defense. Cornerbacks, number 21, Jeffrey Dezer, and number 44, Carter Williams. Linebacker, number 47, Joe Dazzo, is in the middle. Strong safety, number 27, Eddie Gage. Free safety, number 20, Deshaun Miller. And the second free safety, number 23, Matthew Reese. 3:10 to go in the first. Handoff Celestino, and had a huge lane to run through, but it's shut down quickly. That is Blake Tuziant with the tackle. 27 yards on 7 carries for Celestino here in the first quarter. 2nd down and 8. Other defenders on this squad: defensive end, number 94, Lee Oldfield. Defensive tackle, number 99, Michael Donovan. Outside linebackers are number 97, Dwayne Davidson, and number 93, Blake Tuziant. Number 95 is defensive end, Rami Tefesh. And number 64 is defensive tackle, Riley Earling. Back to pass, Carter Peters over the middle of that pass into traffic and incomplete, broken up by Joe Dazzo. 3rd down and 8 coming up. The kicker for Baltimore is Josh Peckmeyer, number 13. And the punter, number 56, Dennis Burton, along with number 1, strong safety, Matt Davis. 2:32 to go in the first. Tied ball game at 7. Trips off to the right side for Carter Peters. Peters back to pass, and Peters dumps it short, dropped off the hands of the intended receiver, and both defenses come up with 3-and-out stops. Kari Redmond dropped the pass after both defenses gave up opening drive touchdowns. Louisville is all over Cleveland early. 21-0 with 10:53 to go in the second quarter. Dallas is up on DC 10-0 with 10:22 to go in the second quarter. Again, setting the stage for this game, the NYC Sailors need to win out and Baltimore to lose out for the Sailors to clinch the North Division crown. If the Sailors lose tonight, they are not out of the playoffs, or not out of the playoff picture just yet, I should say, as Inzer returns to the 19-yard line. Baltimore has clinched a playoff spot at 6-3 due to the result of Queen City's efforts.
First and 10.
But they have not clinched the divisional crown. 1st and 10 at the 19. Because Baltimore holds the tiebreaker over Queen City, that is the terminology for why they have clinched. Pass is caught by Snyder on the outside, pickup of 2. Danzo now 76 yards and a touchdown. Peters 42 yards. But NYC will take 2-yard pickups all day long. 7-7 ball game. Obviously, this game is a big one. And the Gray Conference certainly watching very carefully tonight. Snyder on the swing, breaks a tackle. Snyder stays in bounds, but a great tackle made by Randall Del Castro on the outside. It'll bring up 3rd down and inches for Baltimore. Yeah, you've got to, if you're going to beat Baltimore, you have to make these type of tackles on Elliott Snyder, because Snyder can be real dangerous in those one-on-one instances on the sideline. In fact, that's probably, he's probably better on the sideline in one-on-one tackle situations than any other back in the league. Under 2 minutes to play, a 3rd down and short. Sailors looking for back-to-back stops. Hand off to Snyder, and he got free quickly. Snyder to the 35-yard line. A burst of energy out of Elliott Snyder easily gives Baltimore their first down since their opening drive, which they turned into a touchdown. 1st and 10 at the 35.
First and 10.
Here's a look at Escobar, still waiting on his first catch of the night. Escobar, 867 yards and 8 touchdowns coming into the night. 133 yards for a 1,000-yard rookie season. Snyder averaging 4.2 yards per carry at 2nd down and 5. Let's meet the Baltimore Crab offense, led by Mike Dazzo and Elliott Snyder. The receivers are Wayne Inzer, number 18, Mike Osai, number 14, and the aforementioned Escobar, number 84. Tight end is number 42, Daley Holder, along with tight end number 82, Steven Darrow. We'll get to the rest in a minute. 2nd down and 5. That pass deep down the field is caught by Osai. How did he catch that ball over the outstretched arms of Shane Spurgeon? What a rocket from Mike Dazzo. I need a second look at this. Oh, Spurgeon just misplayed it, but did a nice job in making the tackle. After the catch from Osai. 1st and 10 at the 29. Also, number 11, Eshawn Shaw is the wide receiver on this Baltimore squad, along with fullback Trayshawn Bozeman. And up the middle to Snyder, picks up 1. What a play by Mike Osai. This has been his quarter. And that is the end of the first quarter of play. Your score, Baltimore 7 and NYC 7. And we'll return to YMBA Telecom Park in the Big Apple in a moment. Back to pass, Snyder. Snyder, a short throw, and Bozeman is decked. And that is the 3rd drop in the last 2 games by Bozeman. Now that one is a little understandable with Lamarck bearing down on Bozeman, but Bozeman needs some better hands. He has struggled at the fullback spot in the last couple of weeks. Third down and 9 at the Sailor 28. Back to pass. And that pass is incomplete. Osai took a vicious hit. And NYC forces a 4th down. And the Sailors defenders are hitting hard. That time, I'm trying to get a look at the number. It was not Randolph who supplied the hit. Number 27 popped old Mike a good one. And it forces a Baltimore field goal. And this has been a very entertaining and energetic first half by both of these squads. A 44-yard field goal attempt for the Crabs coming up. DC is on the board. 7:41 to go in the second quarter. They got a touchdown on down. It's 10-7. Roughnecks still ahead. Field goal for Baltimore is good. So the Crabs retake the lead on Josh Packmeyer's field goal. We saw a quick assassin, the Slack username for Josh Packmeyer in the Twitch chat earlier. So congrats to Packmeyer on another made field goal. Packmeyer this season has been pretty reliable for Baltimore. Not a lot of missed field goals on the end of the Crabs. And from the 11-yard line, it's Spurgeon on the return up to the 31. That's the second time the Sailors will start outside their own 30. Our next game is Saturday night, 6 Central, 7 Eastern. The 4-5 LA Sharks are at the 5-4 Minneapolis Maulers. And we've also got Sioux Falls and Houston going on as well. A big night of Saturday night football here on the SFL Network on Twitch. Start of the third drive for the Sailors. Celestino switches hands cleverly. Gets outside for a pickup of 3. Dazzo and Dezer on the tackle. 2nd down and 7 coming up for the Sailors. Celestino this season, 240 attempts, 688 yards. And last season he had 272 attempts for 996 yards, so his average yards per carry has gone down from 3.7 to 2.9. Wide open is Muhammad. That's his second catch of the first half. The move of the chains for NYC, but Celestino's touchdowns have gone up. He had just 6 last year, 10, now 11 this season. $9:50 to go in the first half. Crabs up a field goal. And out of the eye, back to pass is Peters. And Peters has all kinds of time, dumps it off to Celestino on a check down, got a first down to the Baltimore 45. Crabs probably not thinking Philo Celestino is much of a threat in the passing game. Just 33 catches for 135 yards. That's just barely 4 yards of reception this year and less than 4 receptions a game. But Celestino makes the most out of that one and gets into the Baltimore 45. NYC driving, trying to once again answer a Baltimore score. Peters back to pass, and Peters dumps it off short. That's Swain. And Swain, a nice 6 yards to the Crab 39-yard line. 2nd down and 4 coming up. You mentioned the QBR of Carter Peters being actually not too bad. Peters is 6th in the SFL with the 94 QBR rating, and doesn't get a lot of love around here. Hand off to Celestino, and Celestino's cut down at the line. That's Dezer on the tackle. He's been good on Celestino so far tonight as you take a look at the updated running back numbers. Neither running back has been able to blow it up here so far tonight. And actually, that was Matthew Reese who made that last tackle. 8:40 to go in the first half. Baltimore's up 10-7. Four receivers in an empty set for Peters. Peters pass caught wide open. The slot man to the Crab 31, and the Sailors will move the chains again for an NYC first down. Eddie Gage with the stop, but the Sailors continue to drive down the field and make an effort. By the way, Julian Tyree and Skeletor P. Funk are the only quarterbacks with a QBR of over 100. Pass Peters, deep ball down the field. Muhammad, he actually turned the wrong way initially and then spun back around to make the catch over the shoulder. First and goal to the 4. Muhammad's got 3 catches in the first half, and they've all been big ones. Look at the adjustment to the football by Muhammad. Sticks a huge mitt up there and hauls it in. A pretty grab from Sultan. First and goal at the 4. Two in the backfield. Celestino looking for touchdown number 12. Nearly got it, and he took a big hit. Got sandwiched in between Tuzian and Oldfield. Second and goal at the 2. .7:05 to go in the first half. 2 receivers, 1 to either side, split backs. And Peters will toss it out to Celestino, and what a play by NYC! And an even Beno, they said he scored! Touchdown NYC! This may be reviewed. But that was a brilliant play by the Sailors. And I thought even a better stop by Baltimore's defense. Let's see if we can get a half-decent angle. A phenomenal job by Terminus Law on the outside. I don't think that he got in the end zone. And Tim Johnston's going to challenge. Even still, that was remarkably well executed. And let's take a look at the instant replay. Let's get a good view down this near side here. This is going to be a good shot. Gage initially with a tackle. I don't think Celestino was even close. I think it's a clear third and goal situation.
After review, the player did cross the plane.
And Johnston's absolutely right. He wins the challenge, wipes the touchdown off the board. It's third and goal at the goal line. A tremendous stop by Eddie Gage and company on that last play. Can Baltimore hold? Third down and goal at the goal line. Celestino looking to get in the end zone for the 12th time this season. Peters will give it to Celestino, and he gets in for the touchdown. 12th score for Celestino on the ground. He does not have a score through the air. The cannons are going off as the Sailors take the lead. And for the second time in this game, NYC answers a score from Baltimore. And the extra point for the Sailors is good. So 14-10, NYC on top of Baltimore. And the Sailors have to be thrilled about this start. This team is really starting to come together. If you look at their last 3 games, and we'll break it down in just a moment, as that is another deep kick from Celestino that will not be returned. They beat Queen City 34-21, which is turning out to be a pretty significant victory, considering Queen City is now in the driver's seat for the 4th and final playoff spot, and the 2 teams play in Week 12. Then they lost in double overtime, 35-41, but their offense produced. And then they lost to Louisville, but only by 8 points last week, and they really gave that game away in the 4th quarter. Dazzler's pass is caught by Mike Osai. Mike Osai is shredding the Sailors tonight. 98 yards on 4 grabs. And Randolph with the tackle. And I just have a feeling this is going to be a good game tonight, folks. This is shaping up to be a doozy. Gazzo's in the backfield. Handoff goes to Snyder, left side. Snyder nowhere to go. Lost a yard. Lamarck with another big hit. And NYC looks out for blood tonight. Trying to take the North Division crown away from the Crabs at least for one more week. And NYC controls their fate. They have DC and Queen City in the next couple of weeks. And off to Snyder, and Snyder gets nothing. Snell and company on the tackle. 3rd and 11. NYC playing some good ball, and I've seen NYC on the national broadcasts this year win 13-10 in a nail biter against Carolina. Got obliterated by Santa Fe 40-17. They are putting up a good showing here. Back to pass. Dazzo. Dazzo's in trouble. Got away from a sack. Dazzo side on throw. What a play. Wayne Inzer to the 44. Mike Dazzo, an unbelievable play to move the chains for a first down. Look at Dazzo here. He just throws. Not only does he shrug a defender aside, but throws a defender aside, then throws across the field to a wide-open Inzer who kept the play alive. A brilliant play from Mike Dazzo, and Baltimore's in NYC territory. Split backfield for Dazzo. Back to pass. He's going for it all. Dazzo's pass is picked off at the 14. Spurgeon past the 25 to the 30. Michael Spurgeon, I don't know why, forgive me, I was calling him Shane earlier. That was absolutely false. Mike Osai was the intended receiver. Michael Spurgeon. If anyone can tell me where I got Shane Spurgeon from, I'd really appreciate it. Again, 4th night in a row doing commentary. I'm a little at the end of my rope here, but NYC is going to make me totally lose my mind here tonight if they keep playing like this in this wild game. As Spurgeon gets the interception, 4:39 to go in the half. Handoff Celestino. He's got a lot of room. Celestino picks up 8 to the 38-yard line. For Michael Spurgeon, that is interception number 3 on the season. Celestino is running through a lot of open lanes. Reese and Davis over pursued on a safety blitz on the outside.
2nd and 1. Ball at the 39-yard.
Baltimore looks like they're trying to put some pressure on Carter Peters. Hasn't worked out so far. Counters, Celestino, first down to the 41. The Sailors are 7th best in the league. They have given up just 13 sacks in 9 games coming in. Now, Baltimore, their defensive front is pretty good. Number 3 in sacks with 23 this season in 9 games. Handoff goes to Celestino to the 45, pick up a 4. Second down and 6. 3:25 to go in the first half. The Sailors are protecting a 4-point advantage. Out of the shotgun with 4 wide. Peters back to pass. He's in trouble. Peters is going to go down. A big loss way back at the 36. And Rami Tafesh says all aboard. 3rd and 15 for the Sailors. That was a big play by one of the best defensive fronts in the league. Under 3 minutes to go in the 3rd. Trips off to the right side. Peters back to pass. And Peters throws it short, pass caught by Muhammad, but that's going to be well shy of the first down. Muhammad now 5 catches, 75 yards, and this has been a Sultan Muhammad versus Mike Osai duel here in this first half. But Baltimore is going to get their second stop of the game. So recapping this first half, Baltimore gets a touchdown, and then the Sailors do as well. Both teams go 3 and out on their second possession. Then Baltimore gets a field goal. NYC responds with a touchdown. And this is the Sailors' second punt tonight. This will be the Crabs' 4th possession. Wayne Inter gets a nice block, and then the head-hunting Sailors tonight whip them down at the 25. So 2:10 left to play in the first half.
First and 10. From 26 yards.
And out of the gun is Dazzo with 3 receivers, 2 off to the left side. 4 down linemen for NYC. Dazzo going long again, and Brown plays it beautifully. Osai was the intended receiver once more. And Baltimore's got to figure out how to get Prince Escobar and Daley Holder involved in this game. They don't have any catches here in the first half. And Mike Osai is starting to get blanketed.
2nd and 10. 26 yards.
.206 to go in the first half. 3 in the backfield for Dazzo. Dazzo will hand it off left side to Snyder. Snyder will get 4. Averaging 2.8 yards a carry. And we've reached the 2-minute warning. This is the SFL Network. Crowd on their feet chanting defense in a sold-out YMBA Telecom Park. 2 minutes remaining in the first half. Baltimore down 4. Dazzo back to pass. Deep ball down the field. Knocked away again by Michael Spurgeon. It's 4th down. Jack Bostrom is hurt. He leads the Sailors on the defensive front with 6 sacks this season. And that is an important loss for the Sailors. Bostrom, he got cut down by a low block. Bostrom immediately felt some pain. And that was a low block that Bostrom, I don't think, was waiting for, or ready for, rather. Crabs will have to punt it away thanks to some more great cornerback play out of NYC. But they have just lost their best pass rusher. The team as a whole is 10th in the league in sacks. They have sacked teams 13 times this season. Spurgeon returned up to the 32, and NYC still has plenty of time in all 3 timeouts to do some damage. At the 32.5-yard line for NYC. The SFL is presented by DAXStats and OBS Studios, celebrating our 7th season here on Twitch TV and the SFL Network. Handoff, Celestino up the middle, a lot of space. Picks up 9.5, 57 yards on 16 carries for Philo Celestino tonight. His season high is 130 yards on 27 carries against Tallahassee. Actually, as I'm looking at the stats, I'll get to this in a moment as I found maybe an error in the statistics. Peters back to pass, and the pass is caught by Celestino down to the 44. We have Philo Celestino scoring 8 touchdowns on the ground against Santa Fe in that blowout loss from earlier this season. I don't think that happened. And that would account for all the touchdowns for Celestino this year. Peters pass caught NYC, you're supposed to report this stuff. Elijah Swain quietly moves NYC into Baltimore territory to the 32. Sailors are driving again as I'm blabbering about old statistics. And that pass is caught by Muhammad inside the 15. Down to the 14-yard line. Timeout NYC. And they have moved the ball easily down the field and into the Baltimore red zone. I'm telling you, Carter Peters, there's something about what is happening to this second-year man. He is playing some great ball. Over the last 3 games, he has 3 straight 100-plus QBR ratings, including a 100 QBR against Louisville last week. Peters to pass again, steps up in the pocket, fires short, caught by Swain. Well, actually, no, that's pick number 85. At pick up 9, there's a timeout again. 1 left for the Sailors. NYC getting everyone involved. It's halftime in Cleveland. Louisville is up 21-0.
Second and inches from
Second down and 1 at the 5. 4 receivers, 2 to either side. And Peters will drop back to pass. Peters steps up the pocket, fires back in the end zone. It's caught, but out of bounds. I don't even know how it was caught, as Tefesh was applying some more pressure, down to 22 seconds to go in the first half. And now we're going to get a booth review of this play. The third review we've seen tonight, although I'm not sure this is going to go in the Sailors' favor. I would be shocked if they called this a touchdown as we get a second look at it. It was Elijah Swain who was split out wide. Swain definitely out of bounds. He had both feet out, but a good effort.
After review, the play stands. The pass was incomplete. The catch was made out of bounds. Third down.
Yeah, it's third down. I'm not sure why Nakia Randall is clapping there, but it is third down and 1. I think he may have misheard the official. Ball is at the 5. They can get the 4 for a first down, but I would imagine if the Sailors can't punch it in on the end zone here, they'll just take the field goal with Batista. 4 receivers, empty backfield for Peters. Back to pass, goes middle, and it's knocked away and incomplete. Joe Dazzo on the coverage. It's 4th down. Stan Means was the intended target, who had a catch earlier in the drive, and that pass was just a little late getting there. He was open at about the 1-yard line, but Peters threw it too late. And Batista will come on for his first field goal attempt of the night to put NYC up 7. It's halftime. Wow, Dallas was up 10-0 in that game. DC has scored 17 straight points. They lead the Roughnecks on the road at the half, 17-10. Eric Da Vinci, happy to have you here, man. And the extra point for, or the field goal rather, for NYC, it was the length of an extra point. It's good. And the Sailors lead the Crabs 17-10. 19 seconds to go in the first half. Again, setting the stage. Baltimore with a win tonight can clinch the North Division. NYC is trying to keep division title hopes alive. Queen City and DC cannot win the division. The Sailors would need to win out, including a win tonight, and Baltimore would need to lose out, including a loss tonight. If NYC loses, it does not eliminate them from the playoffs. And Baltimore has already clinched at least a playoff spot. So 15 seconds to go in the first half. The Sailors are up 17-10. And Baltimore has gotten a great half out of Mike Osai. But Prince Escobar and Daley Holder are absolutely silent. Mike Dazzo is in the backfield with an empty set. He'll fire a lofty pass down the middle, caught at the 47. Or at the 44 rather. That's Escobar's first catch. And Baltimore will call a timeout with 3 seconds. And will chuck it downfield for an attempted Hail Mary. The 2K Sports Halftime Report is coming up next with first half highlights and stats. We're at halftime in the other 2 games across the SFL. Louisville is blanking Cleveland 21-0, and DC is on top of Dallas 17-10. This is also a 17-10 ball game, but in favor of the home team, the Sailors.
Let's go!
And the Sailors and Dragons have upsets on their mind tonight. So Hail Mary formation here for Dazzo. He's going to drop back and throw it. He's got all day to throw. First half is over, and the pass is knocked away and out of bounds, intended for Escobar. Bostrom is done for the day. Actually hurt his elbow on that low block. And that is the end of the first half. The score, Baltimore 10 and NYC 7. The Crabs have some work to do the second straight week. The Crabs have a tough war on their hands with a divisional opponent. 2K Sports halftime report starts right now. NYC will receive the second half kickoff. Number 10. Conversion from 30. Peters had a great first half. Backfield with 4 line, 3 to the right. Peters to throw, and it's kicked at the 30. Carter Williams, pick 6, touchdown. Oh, that was not the start NYC wanted to start the second half. Really the first bad throw of the night for Carter Peters. He has played phenomenal, and Carter Williams stepped right in front of it for a 30-yard pick 6. And an extra point can tie the game. Unreal.
Number 13 is back for the
Carter Williams with his 5th interception of the season. And I believe his first pick six. The extra point for Baltimore is good, and just like that, we have a tie ball game. Wow, that really flips the script on this game. I know Tim Johnston is out there, the owner of Baltimore. I know he's logged in. The guy is not as chatty as he used to be. Where are you at, TJ? Turn up to the 29. Maybe he's full screen. Watching this game with a beer in hand and some sort of snack. Or maybe he's still at church. One or the other. Maybe he's watching from the back pew. I would be. 1st and 10 at the 29. Muhammad's at the top of the screen, and Carter Peters will try to shake off that really bad pass to start the half. He'll get some help from Celestino, who picks up 3. Elliott Snyder is averaging less than 3 yards a carry tonight. 25 yards on the ground. That's nothing. NYC has done a fine job against Snyder tonight. Their run defense, their pass defense is actually last in the league. That's surprising. NYC gets 339.4 passing yards per game. Nice tackle made there by Davidson. 3rd down and 6 at the Sailor 33 coming up. Baltimore has come out with a vengeance in the second half. Scoring defense, despite the last-ranked pass defense, is 10th for the Sailors. Total defense is 15th. But the run defense is 6th. They give up less than 100 yards a game. Peters over the middle. Pass caught by Muhammad. First down to the 40. When in doubt, find Sultan Muhammad, and he's been exposing Baltimore over the middle of that defense, and NYC can breathe just a little bit. That would have been bad for momentum. Pick 6 and then a 3 and out to start the half. It's not going to happen for NYC. Backfield, Celestino takes the handoff. He's got some room. Hurdled a defender and got the first down to midfield. The combo of Celestino and an otherwise mostly efficient game by Carter Peters has really looked nice. Eddie Gage gets blocked on the second level. And the Sailors are moving the ball once again. Under 9 to go in the third. 1st and 10 at midfield. A toss out to Celestino, trying to get outside. Got a great block that sealed the edge, and Celestino cut right up inside it. 90 yards for Celestino. Again, his season high is 130.
2nd and 6.
What's up, Flossen? Louisville's up 28-7 with 4:50 to go in the third. 2 backs, 2 receivers. Peters. Hand the ball off to Celestino. Why not? But a nice stop there. That was Tuzian, who plays some good football at outside linebacker for Baltimore. One of the more underrated backers. 3rd and 5 at the 46.
3rd and 5.
Hey, I saw a second level block. That's all I can tell you. Under 8 to go in the third. Peters shuffling away from pressure, fires it into the flat, and a monster hit at the 42-yard line by Dezer, who's had Celestino's number a handful of times tonight. Stops the Sailors short of attempting a field goal, and even the Sailors won't try Batista from 60 yards out. NYC will have to punt it away, and Baltimore got the pick 6 and a stop here in the first 4 minutes of the third quarter. inside the 10. NYC's punt will hop down at the 3 at the 4-yard line. Beautiful punt. Pins the Crabs back deep. Again, don't forget the SFL playoffs start Wednesday, October 26th, 6 Central, 7 Eastern. It's part of a back-to-back doubleheader night of conference semifinal action. Stephen Mullinex will be alongside me in the booth, providing analyst commentary throughout the entire playoffs. We're going to have a lot of fun with it. Wrap up the bow on season 7. Elliott Snyder will lose a yard. Big tackle. And a big blow up in the backfield under 7 minutes to go in the third. Ball's at the 3.
Second and 11.
6:48 to go. What will Dazzo and the Baltimore offense dial up here? And off to Snyder. Snyder still fighting, going nowhere. Lost maybe a half a yard. Del Castro on the tackle, 3rd and long. Baltimore has won 5 straight games, all by 7 points or less. Does their luck finally run out here? They've also lost 3 games by 7 points or less. Their only game in which they did not win or lose by 7 points or less is they take a safe play here. And Snyder is going to get the first down and a face mask at the end of it. What a run from Elliott Snyder, who has been contained all night long and has his best run of the night in the most crucial of moments. They'll tack that on, and from the 3, Baltimore ends up gaining 26 yards on an Elliott Snyder run. And great patience by Snyder, too. I don't know how he got away from all that traffic, and then he was just ripped down from behind. Dazzo, 172 yards, a touchdown. Did throw a pick to Michael Spurgeon, a rating of a little less than 95. So it's a first down and new life for the Crab offense after getting away on that last drive. Escobar picks up 9. That's his second catch. And put out of bounds at the 38. That one game for Baltimore was a 20-7 victory over Queen City, which has proven to be a valuable tiebreaker. Louisville has scored again, 35-7 on Cleveland with 2:38 to go in the third. Hand off to Snyder, got some room, Snyder fumbled! It's loose and picked up by Randolph! And it's Saylor first down! Snyder gets the ball popped out of his hands. And let's see who forced it. NYC's defense have been some heavy hitters tonight. Lamarck came from behind, and Cecil Randolph alertly recovers the fumble and returns to the Baltimore 42-yard line. And for Elliott Snyder this season, we're trying to find out if he has fumbled yet before. Don't have that data readily available. As Celestino will take the handoff, he's got some space and churns ahead to the 31 for a first down. By the way, it was NYC's 5th fumble recovery of the season. That's got to be tops, if not at least top 3 in the SFL for recovering fumbles. We're going to take a look at that right now. But a huge play by the Saylor defense. Celestino gets the carry, but there's another penalty. That may be holding, and that could come back. Let's get the call.
Clipping, number 87, offense. Repeat, first down.
And they'll be 1st and 21. And this has been a phenomenal game. Yes, so NYC coming into the night had more fumble recoveries than any other team with 4. They now add on to it with 5. In case you're wondering, Carolina, Sioux Falls, and Orlando are second in the league with 3 fumble recoveries. The handoff goes to Celestino up the middle, and Reese will make the tackle, gain of 3. Baltimore, that is the first fumble lost by Baltimore this season. 6 teams have actually lost 2 fumbles this season. Houston, D.C., OKC, Tallahassee, Sioux Falls, and Louisville. The more you know. Back to pass, Celestino, he runs himself out of bounds. It's 3rd and 20. As you look at the updated quarterback numbers, Dazzo having a slightly better evening. 4 minutes to go in the third. 2:58 to go in the third. Dallas has just scored to tie the game with DC. 17-17. And we're 17-17 here. 3rd and long. Peters is going to need to pull something out of his hat here. And instead he has to dump it off to Celestino, who cannot make a single player miss. And again, the Sailors get into Baltimore territory, but come up empty. So they do not convert the fumble recovery into any points. Instead, goes back 10 yards, 11 yards rather, and will have to punt it away. So a tremendous stand by the Baltimore defense, and the Sailors will try to pin the Crabs inside the 20 for a second consecutive time. This ball will bounce inside the 5 and into the end zone. It was not close. So the Crabs will get the ball to start the 20. Baltimore's defense, we haven't mentioned it as much as we should tonight as you take a look at Snyder's struggling numbers tonight, but the team is number 1 in scoring defense per game. They give up just 22.6 points per game. Number 3 in opponent first downs, giving up just 139. We'll give you some more stats here. 1st and 10 at the 20. The handoff goes to Snyder, 25, 30 to the 32. First down, a pickup of 12. Elliott Snyder is starting to get rolling. Of course, Baltimore's number 3 in sacks. We've already talked about that. They're number 3 in pass defensive efficiency. Quarterback ratings against Baltimore's defense average just 80 as Del Castro makes the tackle. Number 4 in opponents' third down conversions. Number 4 in total defense. It just goes on and on and on for Baltimore. A top flight defensive unit. Back to pass. Dazzo fires, caught by Escobar to midfield. 1st and 10. And Prince Escobar is finding his way. A nice little slip, slant inside. And Baltimore moving the football. They have, for the most part, controlled this third quarter. Have not taken the lead in the third, but have shut down the Sailor offense. Empty set for Dazzo. Back to pass. Deep ball. Dazzo. Incomplete. Overthrow. Lomax was deep down the field along with a safety. 2nd and 10. Don't forget that our next game is Saturday night, 6 Central, 7 Eastern. The 4 and 5 Sharks, the 5 and 4 Maulers. Also have the Hyenas trying to slow down the Sparrows. That is coming up in a couple of days. Dazzo's pass down the field, incomplete. 3rd and 10. Del Castro on the coverage. 3 catches on 6 targets for Escobar. If you don't have gear from the SFL shop, you should get it today. New items are added all the time. cafepress.com/simulationfl, or you can just go to simulationfl.com and click the shop button. 3rd down and 10 from the 50. Back-to-back incompletions from Dazzo after Snyder was getting a rhythm. Dazzo back to pass. 3-step drop, fires short. That's out of bounds. And NYC's defense gets a stop. Osai was the intended receiver, and Burton will have to punt it away. A good answer by NYC, and it seems like the Sailors have a counterpunch for everything that Baltimore has thrown at them here tonight. There you go, Mighty RX wearing his Cram shirt right now. Love it. Burton punts it away. This will be fielded by Michael Burton at the 11. And a decent return up to the 17-yard line with 1:44 to go in the third quarter. So Muhammad will go outside wide. 3-2 defense out of the Crabs. And Peters is in the gun. Nobody behind him, back to throw. Peters outside, caught by Law, but the defense was bearing down on him. That was Reese, who was trying to catch up to Law. Law made that grave mistake on the first play of the second half when he allowed Carter Peters to intercept it and take it to the house. 7 catches for 99 yards on 8 targets for Muhammad tonight. And again, 4 wide receivers and out of the gun for Peters. 2 defense, Peters to pass. Peters going long, knocked away. Jeffrey Deser having a nice night tonight. We've said his name quite often. 3rd down and 6. Defended that well, and Peters needed to put a little bit more air on the football. 3rd and 6 from the 21, 1:09 to go in the third quarter.
3rd and 6.
Don't forget, post-game show is coming up. We want to hear from all of you out there in SFL Nation. And we'll break down the updated playoff standings, the scenarios and the tiebreakers as well once we have all games final. Peters hit as he threw. Pass is incomplete, 4th down. That was Tafesh applying more pressure. And Baltimore's defense gets a stop again, and these 2 defenses are going back and forth here in the third quarter. And it just doesn't seem like the Sailors have the same type of rhythm that they had in the first half against this Baltimore defense. And Baltimore's defense struggled in the first half against DC, but blanked the Dragons in the second half last week. Here's another fun fact. In the last 5 quarters that I've commentated, in the last 5 quarters of second halves, dating back to the end of last week, in the last 5 second half quarters, there has not been an offensive touchdown in a game that I've called. Baltimore and DC did not even score last Thursday. And then Wednesday night, last night, Carolina and Queen City just put a couple of field goals on the board in the second half, as Snyder picks up 7 yards to the Sailor 47 in the third quarter of this ball game. Just a pick 6 on the board. Less than a minute to go in the third quarter. Dazzo is over 200 pass yards as the Crabs try to get Snyder back involved. 2nd down and 3 at the 47. Hand off to Snyder. Bounced off a tackle. 1st down to the NYC 42. Baltimore trying to take their first lead of the game since 10-7 back early in the first half. DC has tacked on a field goal. There's 9 minutes left in Dallas. Dragons lead the Roughnecks 20-17. Final play in the third quarter. Dazzo back to pass. They'll swing it outside, to the side, picks up 4 as they rule him in. That is the end of the first quarter. Third quarter. This is exhausting. We'll be back. Big Apple after this. We're tied at 17. Get ready for a fun one. Baltimore is in its 9th game, potentially that could be decided by 7 points or less. That is ridiculous. Hand off to Snyder. He's dropped in the backfield. A loss of a couple. Third down and 8.
Third and 8. Ball at the 30-yard.
4 receivers, 3 off to the right side. Snyder's in the backfield. Dazzle back to pass. Just a simple 3-man rush, and the pass is knocked away. Brilliant safety help by Randall Del Castro to come over and knock the ball away from Escobar. 4th down at the Sailor 40. The crab drive stalls. What a tremendous effort. This Sailor defense is just not giving it up. Last in the league coming in against the pass. And they have done a pretty nice job on Baltimore's passing attack. Baltimore's punt nearly blocked. That's Burton, the punter. It'll bounce at the 5 and hop into the end zone. So back out comes Carter Peters in a tie ball game. How has NYC fared in games decided by 7 points or less? They beat Carolina 13-10. They beat Oklahoma City 26-23. They lost in double overtime to Louisville 35-41. And they lost, or to Cleveland rather. And they lost to Louisville 32-24. 2 in the backfield. Peters hands it off to Celestino. Lost a yard. Touziant with the tackle. And NYC just cannot get their offense rolling in the second half.
Second and 10 from Los Sailors.
Muhammad is in the slot. At the line. Del Castro gets the handoff, picks up 4. Oh, now Del Castro is hurt. Del Castro got hurt last week against Louisville. This is the second straight game. Philo Celestino, I'm telling you, my brain is melting as we speak. Celestino, I apologize for that. Matthew Reese picks up the hit. But Philo Celestino, for the second straight week, is hurt. It's the second star to get injured for NYC tonight in a tie ball game, 3rd and 7. Can Peters get the Sailors out of a jam, out of the gun? 5 in the box for Baltimore. Back to pass. Peters against a blitz and couldn't get away. That is Matt Davis coming in on a safety blitz with the sack, his 4th tackle of the night, and it's 4th down for the Sailors. They have to punt it away again. Baltimore starting to press down on NYC. Sailors offense really hurting in this second half.
Los Sailors are back to punt.
And Baltimore trying to make it happen again late. 7:07 to go in the 4th quarter. I tell you, Louisville, I mean, they have bounced back from their game against NYC last week, I'll tell you that. 42-7 over Cleveland with 7 minutes to go in the ball game.
49-yarder.
.908 to go in the 4th.
First and 10.
Still tied at 17. And we're now approaching the last 6 quarters in which I've called in the second half of 3 different ball games that we have not had an offensive touchdown. Snyder's in the backfield. Dazzo drops back to pass. Fires it to the outside. Snyder lost 4. I don't know what Snyder got tripped up on out there, but he just looked really slow on that play. And it brings up a 2nd and long for Baltimore. That's absolutely not what you want to do, especially getting the ball to start at the 50. Back to pass. Pedazzo fires, incomplete. Escobar is the intended receiver, 3rd down and long. That's where I got Shane Spurgeon from. Yeah, he's on Baltimore. It doesn't go by Shane Spurgeon. But that's where I was getting the Spurgeons confused. They're both on the field tonight. Michael is on NYC. He had a pick earlier tonight, and Maurice is here with us in the chat room. 3rd down and 14. Back to pass Dazzo. Dazzo's in trouble. Dazzo is sacked. Casey Mitchell on a blitz. 4th and long for NYC. Huge defensive stand. The Sailors defense is coming up with some monster plays here, giving their offense chance after chance as we dip under the 8.5-minute mark. From the 22s, Michael Spurgeon on a return to the 24. 8:16 to go. Mark it on your calendar. The SFL Season 7 playoffs begin Wednesday, October 26, 6 Central, 7 Eastern with a doubleheader. It'll follow with Thursday, October 27th, a doubleheader. The conference championship games will be Tuesday, November 1st, at 6 Central. And the SFL championship game will be Saturday, November 5th. At 6 Central. Peters back to pass down the field. Knocked away, knocked around, and incomplete. Had a receiver deep down the field, but the pass was not aired out enough. And Baltimore's secondary gets a hand on it. 2nd and 10 with 8:10 to go in the 4th.
2nd and 10. Ball at the 24 yard.
2 in the backfield. Celestino was a big part of that first half. Get going. He's going to get the carry. Actually, check that. Celestino was still out of the game. I thought I saw him come back in. Instead, it's Oldfield on the tackle. And without Celestino in the game, who was providing a boost for this offense, they've got to look to Muhammad, maybe Elijah Swain. Those are probably their 2 top targets. Terminus Law has provided a spark at times this season with 503 yards and 3 touchdowns. 3rd down and long for the Sailors. Both offenses sputtering in the second half. And Peters' pass is caught by Muhammad, but he's tackled well short of the first down. Another punt coming for NYC. And I'm thinking to myself, where have I seen this before? This Baltimore defense shut out Queen City in the second half of a 20-7 win. Orlando scored just 10 points in the second half in a game that they won over Baltimore. From the 32-yard line, up to the 36 against Carolina. Skyhawks managed just 10 in the second half. And against DC last week, the Dragons were blanked. So this is a second half, a tremendous defense.
1st and 10.
6:57 to go. We are still knotted at 17 off of the pick 6 from Carter Williams. Michael Osai also has a touchdown, and Celestino scored 2 in the first half. Dazzo back to pass. Dazzo fires outside, caught by Ishan Shah. A gain of 6, Shaw's first catch tonight. 2nd and 4 at the 42. Baltimore next week takes on Cleveland at home. The Crabs finish out the season with 2 straight home games, Cleveland and D.C. Handoff goes to Snyder, left side. Snyder, first down, breaks a tackle. Snyder, one man to beat, and Spurgeon slows him down at the 26. Baltimore is in scoring position as the clock winds down to 6 minutes. Yeah, Baltimore, Cleveland, or hosting Cleveland next week. That should be a good matchup for the Crabs to continue, especially after the way that Cleveland has looked tonight against the Wolfpack. NYC finishes off the season with 2 road games. This is their final home game of the season. So far this season, the Sailors are 2-3 at home. Snyder, and Snyder got speared at the line of scrimmage. No gain, 2nd and 10. But at DC and at Queen City for the Sailors left on the schedule. They control their destiny with 3 divisional games to end the year for NYC. Back to pass. Dazzo, deep ball, middle, caught by Osai at the 1-yard line. What a play by Osai. That was not an easy catch. As Dazzo rifles it. And that was Cecil Randolph who nearly made the pick. This has to be deja vu for NYC. They were leading Louisville 24-13 with 7:43 to go in the game last week. Handoff to Snyder. He's got a touchdown. And this week, NYC was leading at the half 17-10. They have surrendered 13 straight points, and Baltimore has their largest lead of the night. Snyder too easy. He didn't even need the lead block from Bozeman. And NYC's offense has to respond.
Number 13 is back for the point after. Number 8 on the hold.
Sailors also led at the half over Cleveland 17-14 in a game they eventually lost. Extra point for Packmeyer is good, 24-17. Baltimore's trying to wrap up the North Division, and they are 4 minutes and 56 seconds away from doing just that. Again, the SFL postgame show will follow immediately after this game. We'll take a couple-minute break as we update some graphics for you as we take a look at the playoff standings and scenarios and important games coming up down the stretch in the SFL from the 11-yard line. Johnson on the return, and he gets clocked at the 29. Can the Sailor offense get back on track? Celestino is still out of this game, and we still do not have a report. Out of the eye, Muhammad is off the left side. They're going to hand it off, and it's a 1-yard loss. Probably more like 1.5. Sailors have lost their multi-dimensional offensive attack. They have failed to go or connect down the field with either Law or Muhammad. 2nd and 11. Sailors have got to hurry, or got to have some sort of sense of urgency here with the way their offense has been playing. The handoff again to the back. It's 3rd down and 9. I am just shocked by the play calling here. Peters is going to pass. No, he's going to be sacked. Big play by Riley Earling. And this NYC offense has crumbled. And will the Sailors go for it or punt it away? They're going to punt. Rely on their defense to get them some sort of big play. With under 4 minutes to go, the Sailors are crumbling. 1:54 to go in the 4th. Louisville is tearing up Cleveland 45-7. As the Sailors kick it away. Earling and Tafesh with sacks tonight for Baltimore. And Inter returns up to the 39. Keep in mind, the Sailors force more fumbles and recover more fumbles than any other team in the league this year. First down and 10 for Baltimore. Sailors in need of a stop. Both teams have all 3 timeouts. Hand off to Snyder. Snyder past the 40. And then is bunched up after a 3-yard gain. And Celestino is easily done for the night. Out with an arm injury. If you're just joining us, the 6-3 Baltimore Crabs trying to wrap up the North Division against the 3-6 NYC Sailors. The Sailors trying to keep their hopes for their first divisional crown and playoff appearance alive. If they lose tonight, they are not eliminated from contention, but it would certainly help their chances if they won. 2nd and 7 at the 42. Snyder's in the backfield, needing a lot of clock. Snyder breaks a tackle. Big hit by Snell. 3rd and 4 coming up. And we'll nearly get all the way down to the 2-minute warning before we decide the fate of the Sailors here tonight. 1:58 to go in the 4th in Dallas. The Dragons have a 23-17 lead. Three backs in the backfield for the Crabs. On a 3rd down and 4, Snyder did not get the first down. 93 yards on 4.2 yards a carry, and the Sailors will get the ball back with 2 minutes to go to try and tie the game and force overtime. This is the SFL Network. The Sailor offense has struggled all night, but if there's one thing the Sailors know how to do, it's late in games, get Sultan Muhammad a shot deep down the field. We haven't seen them take many chances deep down the field tonight as Spurgeon returns to the 18. I would imagine we would have to see some here out of NYC needing a touchdown. They have all 3 timeouts left. But I would think this is 4 down territory wherever you are on the field if you're the Sailors. Back to pass. And Peters down the middle. It's intercepted. Intercepted by Eddie Gage. And the drive ended before it even started. As Peters looked in Terminus Law's direction, the ball is at the Sailor 34. The Sailors do still have all 3 timeouts, but now hold on to just a slim hope, as the Sailor offense has been abysmal in the second half. Hand off to Snyder, trying to get closer. He does. Gains a yard and a half. Sailors burn their first timeout. Randolph on the tackle. It'd be about a 48-yard field goal from here. Baltimore does not have a star kicker, so you never know. But 1 first down ends this game for the Crabs. To Snyder. Snyder stretching it outside. Got to the 30. Still on his feet. 47-yard field goal now, and they had a chance to get Snyder in the backfield, and they couldn't do it. Elliott Snyder not doing it with flash, but with substance here on the last couple of drives. Getting the yards, but killing the clock as Baltimore needs. 3rd down, 5 yards to go. 2 backs, 2 receivers. Sailors looking for an answer. Hand off to Snyder. He is stopped almost immediately. The Sailors are out of timeouts, and it comes down to a 46-yard field goal for Baltimore to more than likely win the division. And with Dallas trailing at the moment, they could really put a clamp also on a home playoff game. But DC is kicking it back to Dallas. The Roughnecks have another shot. From 46 yards away, the Baltimore field goal is good. Josh Packmeyer in the clutch. gives the Crabs a 10-point lead. They have outscored NYC 17-0 in the second half. Last week, the Sailors gave up the final 19 points of the game, and tonight they've given up the final 17 points of the game. And the Sailors will look back on these last 2 weeks thinking about how they could be 5-5 and in the driver's seat for the fourth and final playoff spot. Spurgeon on the return. NYC needs a quick score and an onside kick recovery to have any shot. .105 remaining in the Dallas-DC game. And I believe that Cleveland and Louisville has gone final. If they haven't, it's close. 4 receivers, trips off right. Carter Peters trying to do something, get something going. That was caught by Muhammad. I don't know how, though. Pickup of 8. But the Sailors have to hurry. Peters needs to hurry up and get to the line. What is he doing? Peters back to pass, and he fires it short. That pass is caught, but couldn't get out of bounds at the 42. Again, trying to get set. 1:06 to go. NYC wasting a lot of time. Back to throw, a dump off. Loss of 2. NYC, they don't have any timeouts left. They can't get out of this offensive set they're in. Back to pass. Peters to throw. Peters short. There's a flag. Not quite sure what the call is going to be. It looked like a Baltimore defender tipped the pass. I didn't see an ineligible receiver downfield. I didn't see it unless it hit number 59. I didn't see the penalty, which is going to bring up 2nd down and 17. I just didn't see it.
Second and 17. Ball at the 35 yard.
Well, NYC's offense has been a totally different team than they were in the first half. Pass is caught by Muhammad, but it's 3rd down and 12. I mean, this is about probably the worst no-huddle offense you could call for. Down 10 in need of a quick score. Muhammad's not getting any deep shots down the field. Finally, Peters goes the distance, and it's incomplete, 4th down. And I can understand why he's not trying to go the distance, because Baltimore is not giving up the deep ball tonight. They have not allowed the NYC Sailors to beat them deep. They want to see the Sailors have, 12-play, 80-yard drives, and NYC has not been able to produce those. 4th and 12, this is it.
4th and 12. Ball at the 40 yard.
Peters on a 4th down and 12. Back to pass. Fires it short. Needs to get to the sticks and will not get there. The Baltimore Crabs are back-to-back division champions. Jeffrey Dezer again on another tackle. And NYC's playoff hopes take a hit. And the NYC Sailors, battling the DC Dragons in Week 11, will be a monster game. DC has upset Dallas. So the 3-7 DC Dragons and the 3-7 NYC Sailors will battle next week in a pivotal game to try to decide which one of these teams, if any of them, will be able to sneak in to the playoffs and have a shot against the league's best team. Your final tonight, Baltimore 27, NYC 17. The SFL postgame show is coming up in 2 minutes. Get everything situated and ready to go. And we'll take your calls next.